The Tennessee Titans have their edge rusher, have their pass rusher, have their sack producer. That is Bud Dupree, formerly of the Pittsburgh Steelers, now of your Tennessee Titans. Bud Dupree is a perfect fit for the Mike Vrabel defense. Perfect. I'm talking perfect. Chef's kiss. Perfection. Bud Dupree is basically a better version of Jadeveon Clowney. I brought this up in my free agency predictions where I predicted Bud Dupree would sign with the Titans. I think, again, I wouldn't predict anything that I thought was a bad fit or a bad just addition to this team. Bud Dupree, some camps feel he's a little overrated because TJ Watt, because Hayward, because Tuitt, because all the players that have been on Pittsburgh that have been able to allow him to have free rushes, free sacks, free, lanes at the quarterback, or have been singled up because TJ Watt takes on the double team or Hayward takes on the double team. And while that might be true, you always have to remember that this type of defense isn't always about just the pure ability to rush the passer. There are some defenses that are just about getting to the quarterback. But there are others that, like Vrabel's, who comes from the school of Bill Belichick, he really values setting the edge. And Bud Dupree is one of the best edge setters in the league, run defenders in the league. So he's going to provide Jadeveon Clowney type run defense with also an ability to get to the quarterback that the Titans have not had, okay? This is a really, really good player. Bud Dupree's a really good player. Now, could he be better if he had TJ Watt on the other side? Like, would expecting 12 sacks or whatever out of Bud Dupree maybe be a bit much? Yeah, maybe. You should probably expect like 8 to 10, maybe not 12. But he's a good player, and he's well-rounded, and he fits this scheme perfectly. Great athleticism, just freakish splash type plays that he makes. He's coming off an injury, so he might start the season a little bit slow. But I think overall, he's an awesome player that deserves this money, $16.5 million a year. He's my number 2 edge rusher of this free agency, only behind Shaq Barrett. And I think he is going to significantly upgrade the Tennessee Titans front seven with a player that I'm sure Mike Vrabel has probably seen similar type of players in the past, right? Bud Dupree's a guy that, like Clowney, again, like what they wanted in Clowney. You can move him around. You can put him at inside linebacker. He can rush from there. You can put him at edge. You can put him on the interior. He can, he's good enough, big enough to size up there. Like, he can be moved around as a chess piece and rush from a majority of different places. And he's probably, similar to the mold of a guy, that Mike Vrabel played with, like a Willie McGinnis type of player as well. So I think Bud Dupree is going to have a big impact on the Titans, and I think is absolutely what the Titans fans and Titans organization has been searching for a number of seasons. Bud Dupree, $16 million a year. Let me know if you think it's worth it in the comments. The big pass rusher to the Titans.